Hello, hello, hello. Great, beautiful, blessed Saturday, question mark. Um, it is day 16 of Lupus Awareness Month. And today we're talking about policy and um, advocacy. If you don't know me, you've never seen me before, I am Tennille Stewart. I guide people through reclaiming their identity and designing a full life after diagnosis or major life disruption. I'm in a room with sleeping people, so this is louder than I'm gonna get. Um, so we'll make this simple, sweet, and to the point. If you're seeing me, you should be seeing me on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. Holler at a player and let me know that you can see and you can hear me, especially because I'm gonna be softer than usual tonight. Okay. Uh, so lupus awareness is not just purple. As much as I love purple, it's not just like pouring out your heart, your personal stories. Sometimes it's really showing up and speaking out and making sure that your story counts and you're pushing for change to be made. That might not even affect you, but it's going to affect people to come, right? So, oops, look what I did. No, y'all can't see that. Hi, welcome in, welcome in. Tell me where you're tuning in from. What time is it where you are watching this? So, a couple months, no, it was last month, question mark, April, yeah. Last month, thank you so much. Last month, I went to the Georgia Capitol, and that was my second time going to the Georgia Capitol, and I got to speak to, it's 1:30 a.m., where are you? Oh, probably 11, 12, 12 to 1. Eastern Standard Time, question mark? Um, I went to the Georgia Capitol last month, April, and for Advocacy Day, Lupus Advocacy Day, and we got to speak to the senators. We got to write letters that, hey, Miami, we got to find out, more about the policies. We got to uh, advocate for our own policies that we were looking for change, sitting on meetings, like actual meetings where they're voting on policies. We got to tell the senators face to face our stories and why it's important. Not a librarian. Librarians don't generally have hard classes, but okay. Um, and it was really, really cool. It was like I said, my second time, but every time it's a little different. I was so, like, the first time I went, I was scared. I didn't really know anybody, obviously. Like, I just moved to Georgia, but it's the first time I had ever gone to the Senate with any lupus advocacy. So it was really intense. Like, I didn't know, what I was going to be doing for real. And oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And thank God they have like the whole group to guide you when I wasn't ever by myself or like anything I was confused about, they explained. But it was really, really cool. It really felt like we were making some kind of a difference. And it wasn't just like laying in the bed thinking like, oh, I wish this was happening. I wish that was happening. The point is to get involved. Otherwise, you are not helping anyone, including yourself, right? So thinking about like the big picture of everybody voting and all this stuff, it sounds super abstract, right? But when you can meet these people that help make these policies, when you can, make a difference in your state, it's wild. Um, you need to realize that your voice, even though it's one person, matters way, way more than you think it does. People, because people don't want to make that effort and they know, like people in politics know, one email, one phone call, it matters so much because people generally don't make the effort because they think their voice doesn't matter. Yeah, so instead of just being affected by the conversation in those big rooms, make yourself a part of those conversations in those big rooms, and you would be surprised at the impact it would make. If a senator looks at you and remembers who you are and remembers your story, when those big changes are being made, she might think about you, you know? So be part of it. So let me give some facts now. Lupus affects millions worldwide, yet the funding still lags behind many other diseases. It's still a disease that a lot of people don't even know what it is. If you are watching this right now and you've never heard of lupus in 2026, that's insane. Lupus is an autoimmune disease that affects major organs, including skin, heart, lungs, kidneys, all of the organs. And it can be severe, it can be debilitating, it can lead to death. So as many people have it, it's still like not studied very much. It's still, there's no cure. So the policies that we are going to the Capitol to fight for are healthcare coverage, Medicaid, Medicare protections, prescriptions, the affordability of the prescriptions, disability rights, paid leave, and research grants. So all of them, in some way, shape, or form, are things that we can impact, right? There's always new bills, and when you go with the group to the Capitol, they explain in the morning, they explain to you, these are the bills that are about us. These are the bills that we can help impact. Write your story out, and these helps you find your senators. Like, I wasn't sure. I had just moved to the state. I had no idea what was going on. So it was really, really cool. So if you can find small groups that go and do these big advocacy projects, I would advise you go. Like, it makes the most sense. Decisions that are made by those lawmakers can directly affect like your quality of life, because it's going to determine the treatment that you get. It's going to determine the medication you have access to. People really, a lot of time, including me, I'm not saying me better than anybody, focus on just the big elections, because that's what we know. Like, people really don't think about the little elections, the little things, but that matters a lot. State laws matter, local representative matters, healthcare bills matter, community advocacy matters, okay? I'm up against this wall. Ugh, yeah. So you may feel like you're small and insignificant, but until you realize that your email, your letter, your handshake, your testimony, your vote, they all count. They all push towards a better future for you and others that are going to come behind you. So it is selfish to not advocate for yourself and people like you. So today is for like 31 minutes, is World Hypertension Day. Lupus patients generally have high blood pressure from, not me too, but from the medication. I was on 2 blood pressure medicines when I was on like 60 or higher milligrams of prednisone. And it's just like one of the side effects of many of the medications. And from like kidney issues, a lot of times high blood pressure, cardiovascular concerns, just generally from, the medication and the disease, but the medication. So policies can affect prevention of you getting that healthcare that you need access to anyways, right? Like, there's a lot of like diabolical little policies that protect the insurance companies and not us. And we need to flip that immediately, expeditiously. Okay, so how to advocate. Learn those bills. They have been broken down online all over the place because I had no idea what was going on either. And I did need help to figure out what some of them meant. Contact your representatives. There's a website. Maybe I'll put that in this episode when I get home. I'm still in Denver. When I get home, I'll go back and retroactively put that information in the notes. Share your story. Support lupus organizations. It doesn't have to be any organization that you pay anything to be a part of, right? But support local lupus organizations for your state. Vote locally every election. Find out as much as you can and vote. Attend advocacy days. That was only my second, but I really loved it. It was really amazing. Educate your community. So if you go, maybe your loopy friend, your swoony friend is sick and can't go home and explain it to them. Walk them through how to do what they need to do. Help them write their stories so you can send to the senators for them, you know. So you don't need to be famous or wealthy or, you know, rich or, you know, anything to have advocacy. You don't have to do anything besides be your sick self to impact what really goes on. Don't let yourself think that you're too small in any way to do anything. Sick people's votes count just as much as able-bodied votes. So I'm going to ask my part. I like this. We're getting some fun DMs. So have you ever contacted a representative? I'd love to know. This is my first time 2 years ago, I think, probably. Did you know that local policy, not just the big policies, local state policies can impact healthcare? And what issue would you advocate for specifically? Maybe out of the ones I mentioned, but if you have something that you haven't done advocacy for, but you would advocate for, what would that be? Now, lupus is, you know, part of my story, but advocacy, this is my purpose. They say your job, you know, is your, you know, work, whatever. It's your whatever, but your passion is your purpose, right? Like, this is what I'm here for, is to do this, even though I never ever wanted to do this in my life. I never thought about doing this in my life. This is what I'm here to do. Lupus happened for me and not, you know, not for me to suffer, but for me to prosper. So I'm going to 100% share as much as I can, advocate as much as I can, show y'all how to advocate as much as you can. We got this, guys. We got this. And with that, bam, look at me getting quicker and quicker. It's late, and I got to go. Y'all have a gorgeous night. I'm still in Denver for a couple days, so the time difference will be time differencing. But thank you for tuning in. Stay happily healed. Love you. Bye.